If there's one thing that brings me tremendous amount of joy, and that's encouragement, whether there's something or someone that encourages me, I count it as a wonderful blessing from God. And it's our prayer that these Wednesday words of encouragement are just that, something that brings you joy as you're encouraged by God's word. If you find that these Wednesday words of encouragement do that for you, let us know. Make a comment on Facebook or on the YouTube channel. Share these Wednesday words of encouragement with other people. We want to share God's blessings of encouragement with as many people as we can. This week's verse for our Wednesday word of encouragement is found in Psalm 86:15, where the psalmist says, "But you, O Lord, are a compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness." Isn't the faithfulness of God an encouragement to us? Now, that's an awful big bucket of blessings for God's people, this whole concept of God's faithfulness. But today I just want to focus on one particular aspect of God's faithfulness, and that's this: God is always faithful to himself. Let me repeat that. God is always faithful to himself. What do I mean by that? Well, when we study God's word and we see in God's word all of the truths about God's nature, he is always faithful to his nature. So when we read in God's word that God is love, or God is wise, or God is powerful, patient, God is just, he always is those things. He is faithful to that, so that everything he does is loving. Everything he does comes out of his wisdom. Everything he does will work together for our good. He is always faithful to himself. He can't not be loving. He can't not be wise in everything he does. And that should be a source of strength and joy to us, that God is always faithful to himself. He's always faithful to his nature, and his faithfulness is great unto us, his children. Lamentations 3:23 says, "Great is thy faithfulness." Be encouraged, share that encouragement, and may the joy of the Lord be upon all of us when we remember that great is his faithfulness.